Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Friday, 9th day of June, 15th day of SIVAN. Here we go. Today we talk about the rewards that accrue to the person who visits this sick, and some of the people who you do and or don't have to visit. So let's start with that. If a person just has a minor illness, like they have a cold, then there's not necessarily a mitzvah to go visit them. You can still do it if you want to, but not necessarily the mitzvah of Bikur Cholim if you're visiting someone with a slight thing or a cold or something like that. If the person is bedridden and can't care for themselves, then yeah, then there is a mitzvah of Bikur Cholim in that situation. It's interesting to note that after Avraham had his circumcision, Hashem only visited him on the third day. And the rabbis tell us that that's because the third day is the day that the person feels the pain intensely enough that it's a whole body sickness. And you kind of see from that Hashem only visited Abraham when his circumcision was considered a whole body sickness. And so some people hold that therefore it's really only a mitzvah when it's a sickness that makes the person be considered like a whole body sickness. Now, don't get me wrong. If a person is having tremendous migraines and he can't get out of bed because of that, that would be considered a whole body sickness because he can't get out of bed because of it. So, you have to measure it kind of like that as to whether there is or isn't a mitzvah. If a person has a broken leg, according to this opinion, then there wouldn't necessarily be a mitzvah because assuming it's not a whole body sickness and he's not like bedridden because of it, but he's, limping around the house and he's fine, just his leg is broken. I'm not making light of it, but that may or may not be considered the mitzvah of Bikur Cholim, according to some opinions. There's some who do consider it, yes, the full-fledged mitzvah of Bikur Cholim. Some say that if it's illness that lasts 3 days or less, then it's not really the mitzvah of Bikur Cholim either. But let's say you have someone, let's say a pregnant lady who's been told by her doctors that she must stay on bed rest. That would be considered a person where there's a full-fledged mitzvah to visit them. Somebody who's homebound, just can't get out of the house for different reasons, then that's considered the mitzvah of Bikur Cholim to visit them too. If you know someone who's mentally ill, the commentaries speak about that too, and according to some opinions, there is the mitzvah of Bikur Cholim to visit a person who's mentally ill. Now, to the rewards. The rabbis tell us, the rabbis of the Mishnah, that the rewards for Olam Haba are in both worlds. In this world, the one we're living in now, and in Olam Haba, in the afterworld, the reward for Bikur Cholim, for visiting the sick, is in both worlds. Aruch HaShulchan calls it a great mitzvah. Okay, you're supposed to do mitzvahs whether they're big or small. Okay, don't get me wrong, but the mitzvah of Bikur Cholim is counted in the category of those in the great category. The Gemara says that one of the rewards given to a person who fulfills the mitzvah of visiting the sick is that he'll be saved from Gehenna, from hell. Hashem says that the visitor is spared Yisurin. That means difficulties, pains and things like that because of the merit of his visit to the sick. And also the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, is shooed away from him if he's careful to visit the sick. And most importantly, or I don't know, it's not up to me to rate, but very importantly, it also, of course, can relieve the sick person of his illness, besides the fact that you cheer him up. But metaphysically, spiritually speaking, I should say it that way, spiritually speaking, it relieves the sickness in part from the sick person when you visit him. Thanks for logging on. Have a great Shabbos, and log on again after Shabbos for more. Bye-bye.